to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. I'm reporting from like a summer day. Super hot here in Kenya. Really praying that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life for truly on your own terms. And I really hope that that statement, that you get the whole, the entirety of that statement, beloveds. Because I was just reading somewhere where they're saying this cow owner, this cattle rancher in Turkey, he literally put like virtual reality goggles on his cows during winter, and they showed like the they were in the meadows, the summer breeze, whatever, and he's noticed a significant change in the milk production of his cows. He even says his cows are more happy, etc., etc. And on this meme, it said, the future is the metaverse. And when I read that, I was like, damn, like, so many souls are going to get captured by this fake, this virtual reality that doesn't even exist, beloveds. Because I keep telling you, Babylon got the keys of the kingdom, but not to the kingdom. The key that they got of the kingdom is recognizing that we create everything from our minds. Like literally everything we see came from the mind of the Most High. Everything we experience is our collective minds. They figured that. That's one of their biggest keys. And so they have now said if they can, because there's research that even shows that the mind doesn't know, like your soul doesn't know what is like an actual physical experience and what is a dream. So Babylon did a lot of research for decades into that kind of psychology and dreaming and all that, and Carl Jung and all these people, and found that if they can create a virtual world, your body, your mind, your soul would literally not know the difference between the virtual world they created and the physical world. And so they now, this has been a plan that's been in the works for decades, beloveds. So they now created this grand plan to create this, to make the physical world boring, inaccessible. So they created, the wage slaves, where you're working, most of the week. You're rarely out in nature. You're rarely experiencing the beauty of waterfalls and elephants and lakes and beaches and, snorkeling and scuba diving. You rarely have time for that. Now that's restricted to a certain time of the year. So even that experience now becomes something that people are looking forward to. Like, how many people have been like, oh, I can't wait till my vacation comes. I can't wait till I get, to get off on the summer or whatever. So they then made that world like, where we're always longing for that holiday, always longing for that vacation. And then that's the only time we get a taste of the beauty and wonders of nature. And then even that's been put down and dumbed down by their chemtrails and everything. So it's not even as, and then you're experiencing it in their system, in their matrix. So nature has also been rigged. When you go to on the beach vacations with these huge resorts and everything, that's not really what the beach life is like. You need to go to a totally deserted island or with just a few people where you really get to experience that, like the brightness of the stars at night and the freshness of the, all these things. So they removed that and made it such an exclusive thing. And now they're getting ready to introduce that back into people's lives and say, listen, you can be on vacation every day, as long as you give us your soul, as long as you give us your energy. And the world is gonna become so tough, because you see, what goes around comes around. And Babylon has put so much karma out there that karma now is coming back, to roost, beloveds. And so if you're connected to Babylon, you will suffer in the karma of Babylon. And so they know that nature is withdrawing. Nature is cleansing. So they won't be able. So a lot of people, the outside world that they see, as I've also said, the world is heating up. So many people won't even be able to come outside and bask in the sun. But But it's going to become a very ugly physical reality. So many people will escape to those virtual worlds and virtual realities. And what they're doing now is like, the things that they've made you want that you couldn't afford now, like just say you wanted, you've always admired the rich girls, the rich life, the Gucci bags or whatever. Now in the metaverse, you can have your own character, you can have your own, like a certain shape, you can have your little Gucci bag, you can have so people will escape to that world because it's sweeter than this world. But there's a whole other world that's coming here, beloveds, and it's not going to be visible to people on a certain vibration, which is why they're feeling the need to create the metaverse, this virtual world, because nature has rejected them. Like there's no other world for them to create apart from this virtual one. And the crazy thing is they overstand that, people's minds can't tell the difference between the physical state and the dream state. So they've hijacked your dream state, and literally through the metaverse and stuff, they're now dreaming for you and creating a world for you. And why are they going to all this trouble? It's because they feed on your energy. They've been feeding on your energy for ages, beloveds, on our collective energy. Through all these slavery and colonial systems, it's all about, exploitation. That's what it is. It's an exploitative system. They don't have the power to create or nurture. That is not their objective. And so if you have not started to connect with nature at the most basic level, then you will be tricked into believing that the metaverse is where it's at. And that's where the splitting of worlds is happening, beloveds. And they've come harder that you see, they're not targeting everyone. They'd love to get the chosen ones. But the people that they're ultimately targeting are the weak souls, because they still want to have their food. It's like humanity is food. Some call it loosh. I know someone put it in the comments. Yeah, loosh, like our energy, like the fear and the pain and the tears and the anxiety that every human being develops is like food. It's like energetic food for. That's what they eat. Those are their salads and their steaks and their freaking chicken wing. That's what they take. That's what they consume. And the scary thing is, does Zook even look real to you? Mark, does he even look like a real human being to you guys? I feel like this whole metaverse world is also being created by like off-planet beings, lower vibrational beings. And the thing is, they want to trap your soul in all these universes so that for a long time, many won't even, because it will be so sweet and you'll feel like it's actually happening. Like a cow is tied and chained, and they've literally just put him in front of this cow, his food, and he actually thinks he's in the meadow, living his best life. Like that's going to happen for a lot of people, and a lot of people will escape to that first. And coming back out of it will be so hard. It literally is like the Matrix. Remember how like the mothership of the Matrix, when they would unplug from it, it was like that mothership was so no color, no life, no nothing. That's how their world is going to be. That's what it's going to look like no life. But beloveds, please make sure you make the cut. Make sure you find yourself approved by crossing into the world of nature. And how do you do that? Let's take a short break. I'll explain right after this. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa. Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. So the metaverse, beloveds, is going to catch it's going to harvest so many of the weaker souls. Many of the ones who are not chosen, many who are in the Babylon system, that's the direction they're going to go. Especially when you see how, with all these lockdowns and mandates and everything, a lot of people will be escaping to those worlds just to feel like they're in the world. And then that will take over their reality. You all know how addictive technology is. You see it with your phones, with your screen, with your tablets and everything. It's addictive. But please, beloveds, connect to nature so you don't get tricked. Connect to nature for real. Like, look at this. If you can imagine, I don't want to just see this in my mind. I want to feel it. I mean, it doesn't smell of anything, but I want to touch it. I want to, hold it. I want to grab a few and put them in my vase. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to live in someone's mental world and help them create this mental reality, because that's the thing they're doing now. I mean, people are buying real estate in the metaverse, and doing all these, constructing houses. It's a real world for so many now. And you see, they've primed and programmed our children to already do that, and it's an energy harvest. And some will say, well, I mean, that's the future is metaverse. So I've already invested in property. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But as I said, beloveds, this is not a time of double-mindedness. Get into nature. The way you avoid the metaverse, and it's not even you that they're really targeting, it's your children. You're not really, because they see you as like a bit, old school. You may get it, but you may not even survive that long. I was going to say something, but let me just keep it to myself. So you're not even the main target, but you are the gatekeeper of your children. So you have to, and they've been priming your children with these video games. They keep you so busy, then it's just easier for you to plop your child in front of the TV or in front of the computer to do stuff, and then you're free to go do your thing. And you see, that's how they'll get you. So the most important thing is to get more physical. Start to move, live more in your physical world, beloveds. Gardening, planting, sitting out in the sun. Make sure you're sitting and getting sun-kissed on the daily, and sun gazing on the daily. Make the physical world such a big part of your lives, and especially for your children as well. Remember when we were growing up, it was all about, creating stuff, climbing trees, creating stuff with leaves and whatever, hide and seek in the outside. I mean, it was just there was so much activity and mud and, scratches and scars and everything. I feel like our children have been robbed of that, beloveds. So the way to escape is to get more physical. Find a way to be more physical, to engage more physically. So that even if you are tempted for a second, if you know what this flower is, then virtual reality cannot lie to you that this is a fake flower. You'll still see it, that it's a fake flower. But if you've never seen this as a, real, as it is, with its texture and everything, wow, I didn't realize the leaves were so soft. Whoa. If you've never seen this for real, beloveds, then when Babylon shows you this in their virtual world, you'll be like, oh my God, the colors, this, wow. And, and they'll probably even match the texture. Remember when we were getting into was it 3D or 5D, movie theaters, where if it rained, you'd feel a little drizzle and stuff. So get to know the physical world for real. And make your children get them involved, because you see, you can't imitate nature, beloveds. You can't imitate a swim in the river, you know what I mean? If you've really swam in a river before. You can't imitate sitting by the beach and just being sun-kissed all day, if you've really had that experience. So push yourself to have more physical experiences. And that's why I say get out of Babylon. Because it will reach a point where instead of putting your children in front of a TV screen or a computer screen, you'll just be putting virtual reality goggles on them and calling it a day, and leaving them to play in the virtual world. These are dangerous times. This is the war, beloveds. This is the war. The war is for your mind. As I said, we're collectively fighting for the group conscience. The group consciousness is what they have, and that's what they're wielding like this. But get your mind first. Protect and be a true gatekeeper for the minds of your children. And then build your paradise, beloveds. Be in nature. Do your thing. Until next time. Tuko pamoja.